Come warm yourself round the fire that is Baseball Scotland as we head into week 19 of 20. And while many of the places are all sorted for the postseason, the seedings themselves are up for grabs to grab home advantage here in Scotland. I'm Ewan Spence here on the play-by-play to take you through the game. Joining me at the broadcast booth table, whatever it is,
Filip Makarowski on the colour today here. Today, 20 degrees, lovely day for Scotland, sunny with the expected clouds as always. Today for the Galaxy, pitching on the bump, Elvis Grinnis. Playing third, John McDade. Centre field, Arthur Zhao. And catching, Jacob Wright. At short, we got Innes Darien. Second base, Kai Martin. First base, Gavin McIntosh. In right field, Andrew Sweeney. And rounding off the lineup, Ali Hay out in left.
Taking the defence for the Edinburgh Cannons across the top. We have Gonzalez, Searle and Sue in your left, centre, right. Miguel Del Rosario do your shortstop. Your Ted Rogers, 3-2-1 across the bases. Hernandez, Pujols and Silverberg. Rory Dunn is going to be catching. And Garrett Stell, who's posting some really interesting numbers, which we will get to during the inning, is going to be on the mound once more for the Cannons. In terms of league standings, Tayport Breakers 9-4, Cannons half game back 8-4, Comets 6-6 Evil, Devils 5-8, Galaxy 3-9. Now, Phil, if I remember correctly, the Breakers and the Cannons have the head-to-head.
The Cannons do have the head-to-head thanks to 2 victories at home over Tayport and then the 1 loss away. So the Cannons currently do hold the tiebreaker for the Galaxy. Unfortunately, have already been eliminated from playoff contention. So it's a new pitcher on the bump today in Elvis Grinnis with the usual ace of the Galaxy behind the dish today.
Grinnis has popped up and doing some work off that. But yeah, Jacob Wright has been pretty much the locked-in starter, much as Stell has for the Cannons.
Both nearing 1,000 pitches this game. Garrett Stell also nearing the 100 strikeout mark.
And Wright is 1 away from the 50 strikeout mark. We're expecting him to come into relief with the straight catcher-pitcher swat later on in the game. But we will watch the benches on that one as well. In terms of what the Cannons have to do, well, they can get themselves up to 10-4 record winning this week and next week's week 20, which is the last week of the regular season. The Breakers are not playing this weekend. So, of course, they can hit 10-4 if they win next week. But, as you mentioned there, the head-to-head there has already been decided in favour of the Cannons. So, to be sure, they need 2 wins.
Yes.
To be probable, they need to win today to get top seed.
Absolutely right. Both Glasgow teams won at this one at home, and then the Comets away next week. Will be very interesting to see. It's for the Cannons, it's just they have to win, and they'll be fine unless somebody does them a favour up in Tayport. How likely that is, who knows? But will be a very interesting finish. Worth noting, as much as this is for playoff seeding, there is also a trophy for the league, which will be decided in these next 2 weeks.
And then after that, we will have the postseason. They will be all available up on our YouTube channel as soon as we can get them sorted and processed, although I think we will be taking some of those live, so do keep an eye out for the action there. We will keep you right. At the moment, we are just going through the proceedings at the plate. Our home plate umpire and umpire chief for the game is going to be Jorge Crespo, and in the outfield, taking the duties there, we are going to have Rebecca Robb, running a 2-person crew here. I suppose there's one other thing that I want to draw attention to before we get the game underway, and that is a big congratulations out to our Great Britain team who have won through the European gold over there for the under-23s, taking on the home nation of Czechia in their own third and winning through in the final 7-9 to give the GB their first gold at baseball since, come on, you remember when?
1938.
1930. And at that point then, it was called the Amateur World Series. It's now become the Baseball World Cup. So at any level, that is GB's first gold medal well, in the 21st century, in the modern era. I can't quite remember if we had a dead ball era here in the UK or not.
I think every era has been a dead ball era, unfortunately.
So congratulations out to them. And we may well have a last minute. We will just check. We might have a last minute addition with Wolfie going down to umpire on third base as well. We'll keep an eye on that. Okay, keys to the games here. For the Galaxy, the thing they really need to be focused on is to keep the Cannons from stealing. They have a massive advantage here. I think something like 10 steals.
10 steals last time out for the Cannons. Will be big. Jacob Wright, not the usual catcher, so it'll be interesting to see what happens there. Of course, the Cannons are missing some of their best speed in Connor Smith today, the Cannons MVP of last season. He did play the last one, and I believe he did have 3 steals that game. So it'll be interesting to see what the Cannons do in that regard, whether they give the green light. I imagine we'll have a good look at the throwdown during the warm-ups.
And in terms of the Cannons, what they will be looking for will just be to get that early lead. Still, once the rest of the team give him support, just really gets comfortable and is able to push all of that away. If they can get a little bit of pressure put on him, then the Galaxy do have the shot of just unsettling the team. But I think that for them is where they're going to need to try and get in, unsettle, break up the rhythm of the pitching and of the stealing, and go from there.
I think it'll come down to if the Cannons can get that early lead. I think it's at this point. I think the Cannons they'll be looking to get that big lead, save Garrett Stell's arm ahead of the playoffs. I mean, 1,000 pitches over a season, it's a lot considering he hasn't played in every game. But they'll be looking to just keep that heads up there as the ball comes over to us. The first one of the game, I suppose, or was that one too far wide?
It was wide.
Okay.
It was wide. Look, it was over there.
Well, that's about as close as it's gonna get. But no, I think they'll be wanting to save Stell's arm with the playoffs coming up. Of course, he did have that 150 pitch, 10 innings pitched against the Comets, and if they're wanting him to do that next week, they'll be wanting to save his arm here. Of course, the backup here for the Cannons is Kit Cyril, out currently playing center field with 20 and a third innings pitched, 6.2 ERA and 22 strikeouts for him on the season. He will be the first one out of the bullpen for the Cannons today. Other than that, Ivan Hernandez has also pitched 1 inning, allowing 1 run with 4 walks.
And with the Galaxy as well, she said Jacob Wright catching and Elvis Grinnis on the mound. That's going to be it's likely to be a straight switch around there. Andrew Sweeney has come in on occasion on the mound, so they do have an option out there. But we're getting ready for the game to get underway here. Quick reminder of what we're going through to start. Top of the first as we're here in Edinburgh at the Bobby Thompson Memorial Field. It's going to be Grinnis, McDade and Zhao as your 1, 2, 3 for the Glasgow Galaxy. Garrett Stell on the mound for the Edinburgh Cannons. Rory Dunn catching. And speaking of catching, catch your breath. Baseball Scotland under the sun. There's one weather condition. Let's see how many more we can mark off the bingo card. For myself, Ewan Spence.
And Filip Makarowski.
We're going to take you through the game. Jose Crespo getting ready to give us a signal for the game start. And for those of you keeping track at home, our start time is 14:02 on the clock here in Edinburgh. First pitch comes down, and it's a low strike. And Cannons go ahead in the count. Get us underway here at Warriston. Not one. And count goes equal low from the outside there, 1-1. Almost immediately we have our classic pitcher v pitcher matchup. And inside at the feet there. 2-1, and it's reversed round And the Galaxy pop themselves into the lead. Cannons outfield playing relatively deep here. 2-1 comes in. Count goes equal high. 2-2.
Garrett Stell featuring a primary four-seamer to go along with a slider, change-up, cutter mix today.
2-2. And strike 3.
The two-seam there freezes him low in the zone. And that is the first out recorded.
Stepping up now, third baseman McDade. Quiet moment again. Stell settles in. Outside top corner for strike 1. He's hoping for it. Goes for the ball instead. So this at bat. Galaxy get the first blood and into the lead. 1-0 comes down. Looking for the top of the zone there once more, not finding it. 2-0. Unlike last week with the windy conditions, it's a relatively still day. We're getting the occasional gust pop up. 2-0 comes inside and low to go 3-0. And with that, Garrett Stell goes over 1,000 pitches for the season.
Yep, and the 1,001st pitch is in the dirt for ball 4.
First to base runner for the Galaxy is going to be McDade. And we come into the Scottish two-step. Step 1 is to get yourself up on a base, in this case with the walk. Step 2, bring yourself up to second if you can.
First lefty-lefty matchup of the game today.
So I'll take strike 1.
Worth watching here is Stell's pickoff move, which has got quite a few runners out this year.
Strike 2 comes in. McDade not taking a huge lead out there at first. Galaxy have not been running a huge amount of steals on the season. Unlike the Cannons, they prefer the hit and run small ball. And fell back to stay alive there. Stell will have the chance to throw down another 2-0 pitch.
The wind today blowing out to the outfield. Big change from last week. Could see some balls flying today.
And drop third, strike 3. Not dropped, comfortably caught. And there's 2 away.
That's that devastating slider I was talking about. Just moves so much late break on it. Plays really well off the two-seam. You think it's going to come in on you, and then all of a sudden it breaks the opposite direction. Drow obviously having trouble with it there.
Jacob Wright playing catcher this week. Galaxy's #1 pitcher. Runner goes from first. McDade's heading up. Throw comes in from catcher. It's off target, but it is intercepted in time by Miguel Del Rosario, so it's not going to go any further. Runner up to second.
I believe the base came loose there a little bit. If anyone's wondering what the time was called for there.
Field umpire Rebecca Robb just checking in on the condition of the field there. 1 into scoring position for the Glasgow Galaxy. McDade. And there's a grounder that goes through second base, picked up. Pujols throws over to Silverberg, and that is the third out.
No runs, no hits, 1 runner left on there for the Galaxy. Stell earns this first strikeout of hopefully 10 for the 100 strikeouts. We will be right back with the bottom of the first. Coming to bat is Hernandez, Dunn, and Del Rosario. We will be right back.
Welcome back as we go into the bottom of the first. Here's the Glasgow Galaxy, are welcomed by the Edinburgh Cannons. Cannons line up for today. Hernandez from third base, Duncatcher and Del Rosario shortstop. They're going to be your 1, 2, 3 for this inning. Middle of the orders, Hughes, Silverberg, Stell and Pujols. And closing out will be Gonzalez, Searle and Pillow.
Yep.
Defence for the Glasgow Galaxy. Across the top in your left, centre, right is going to be Hay, Zhao and Sweeney. Shortstop is going to be Darien. Your Ted Rogers 3-2-1 is going to be McDade, Martin and McIntosh. Third base, second base, first base. Jacob Wright, as previously mentioned, is catching. Elvis Grinnis is going to be up there pitching. A 0 score for the top of the first there. So the Cannons defence doing what they needed to do, making sure that Glasgow Galaxy not getting the edgeways. Now it's their chance to go on the offense to see what they can deliver and the support that they can give to Garrett Stell.
Yeah, leadoff hitter Ivan Hernandez batting .227 on the season. We'll be looking to do damage early on here. On the bump, Elvis Grinnis yet to have an inning pitched this season. And the throw down from right looks good. And it's time to get going.
Hernandez dropping the second bat after the practice swings. It's down, steps into the left-hand side of the plate. And the bottom of the first is underway. And that's a line drive. Gover's over the head of Martin out into centre right field. And it's a comfortable single there straight away. One pitch, one hit, one runner on base.
Now it will be interesting to see how the Cannons do in the running game. What they do, whether they go first pitch, wait a little bit.
I'd expect Hernandez to go for at least threaten an immediate steal. Comes down in for the 1-0. Hernandez back onto the bag. There's 2 or 3 strides lead, not a huge amount. As the 1-0 goes inside 2-0. Galaxy outfield again playing deep right out to the 260, 270 distance on the field here. Pick-off attempt at first. Hernandez back in time. Just a few step leads taken there, so smart, but not a huge amount of danger there.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Hernandez does here. And the runner goes, hit on the ground.
Bobbles out of the shortstop glove, in and out, but in any case, that's going to go down, I think, as it hit. The speed was there. So we got runners in first and second.
Now the heart of the order coming up for the Cannons. Del Rosario batting .308 on the season. The stalwart of the Cannons lineup. Shortstop, multiple-time Gold Glover.
And for Jose Crespo, just having a word with the Cannons dugout. A lot of encroaching out into the on deck from the temporary. Hernandez stutters out and back to second base as Grinnis gets strike one on Del Rosario. And there's the grounder, goes up, shortstop picks that up, it's underarm throw to second. It'll look at the double, it's not going to be there in time, not risking the overthrow, but your first out there is taken. Done running up to second and out on the fielder's choice. On a 6-4, Del Rosario reaching on the aforementioned fielder's choice. Hernandez in the third base, puts runners on the corners for the Edinburgh Cannons with one away.
Team leader in batting average here, Rocky Sue, 7 for 19, batting .412 on the season.
Runner goes from first, Del Rosario, and the pitch is hit, and it's high, and it's long, and it's going out into right field, and it's picked up there. We're just checking here. That looks like it's caught on the warning track and then popped in there as well. So it's a 2 RBI double there. Rocky Sue carries on his sterling performance in batting there for the Edinburgh Cannons. 2 on the board.
Exactly the start the Cannons were needing. Now it's just a matter of Stell closing it down.
Del Rosario taking off early though to go for the steal, but then there was no need to slow down as he went into second base, carried on running round second, third, and all the way into home. In fact, almost catching up with Captain Rory Dunn, who was coming. Well, Captain Rory Dunn was already out. It was actually Hernandez up there on third base after Dunn was out on the fielder's choice. So it was a comfortable in for Hernandez. It was a sprint and in for Del Rosario, and with that, it's a 2-run lead to the Edinburgh Cannons. They've still got one in scoring position with Rocky Sue. Steve Silverberg steps in now. Comes in for a ball.
Last time out against the Devils, hit a home run, pulled fly ball to right field that just cleared the fence. One of the few home run hitters this year in Baseball Scotland.
And that's a swung onto a pitch that was going well outside there. The ball turns into a strike. Count goes equal low.
1-1 on number 1-1.
That's a chopped foul down first base line. Hughes gentle drug from second down to third. This is a U-turn halfway down the base path and back up to second. Galaxy outfield continues to play deep. Protecting there against that one on Sue. You probably would have liked a little bit more of wind assistance on that one, just to push it over as is. 2 RBI double. That's back to second, pitch comes in, and that's hit high. Could well be going foul into the foul tree down third base line, which it is. Good 200 feet on the arc of the ball there, but just drifting itself into foul territory there. So let's just reset that all again, but with the Galaxy ahead in the cairn, Elvis Grinnis now carrying a 1 and 2. Sue still up in scoring position at second. Silverberg practices the low swing that he has. Runner goes, Sue goes from second to third. Catcher Jacob Wright stands up, goes in. He's going to be not in time as Sue makes it there safe at third. McDade swinging the glove back to attempt to put the tag on, but the foot already on the bank there. 90 feet away from run 3. Silverberg leans into that one and it's popped up, but that is going to go out of bounds, so there's no option there for a catch, even with Elvis Grinnis was sprinting off the mount to get underneath that. It stays out of base there.
Good at-bat so far from Silverberg. Third pitch fouled off of the at-bat.
Just one away as well, so there are a number of options available here to Silverberg. Beyond the just hit the ball as far as you can. That will not be far from his mind though. Teammate Rocky Sue at third base. Staying close to it. Pitch comes down and that swung foul behind the backstop and at the end of the car park behind us here at the Bobby Thompson Memorial Field at Warriston Park in Edinburgh. Let's take a breath and reset and do it all again. Moment of breath, pitch comes in, swung is on, and that goes foul into the Cannons dugout.
He's fouling off everything right now. Making Grinnis work out there.
Cannons here, though, just looking to keep the pressure and just build up that cushion for Stell. It's 2 already as the pitch comes inside and low. It's just taking a moment to get back on the mound there. Right, sends up the sign. It's happy there, and that's foul off, and I'm going to hope somebody gets that on the table.
Now that.
Where's your glove? Remember how last week I said bring your glove?
Oh, it's not on me.
Yeah, I believe the phrase is, that ball's going to come down with snow on it. You had plenty of time to get the glove on.
6th foul ball of the at-bat now.
Count is full as well at 3-2. And that's a swung on. It's going to go down, drop, 3rd strike. Silverberg's sprinting up. Right throws that one up to first base. It's not going to be in time, though. Silverberg called safe there. So we do have Elvis Grinnis picking up the first strike from himself. But nevertheless, we have runners at the corners now.
For our second pitcher-on-pitcher battle here. Stell this time the batter. As the first pitch is fouled off.
Silverberg will have the speed to attempt that run on the steal up to second, and of course, with runners on the corners, Galaxy will be more than likely just to let that pass and hold Rocky Sue at third base. We're back into the game. Pickoff attempt there over at first. And it rolls foul. It gets out of the glove. McIntosh there, leading to a little bit of confusion. So considering the run down to home, but puts the brakes on after about 40 feet. One of those moments that could have went either way that can have an impact on the game. Runner goes, Silverberg up from first, stealing on second. And yep, this time it's a walk into second. Galaxy not going to take that chance either. 2 in a scoring position.
Still only 1 out.
You have the choice of playing 9 or 10 in the lineup here in the Baseball Scotland Leagues. And there's going to be a DH on the Edinburgh Cannons, so they're playing with 10 in the lineup. Galaxy playing with 9. Not 2 pitch. Swung on and missed. And there's the pitcher going for a strikeout on Stell for the second out of the inning. Second strikeout, but with 1 drop. The other out is coming from a fielder's choice. Grinnis strikes out Stell. Stell strikes out Grinnis. So pitcher is all fair and square in that game. Second baseman Pujol's in now for the Edinburgh Cannons. He's got teammates at second and third. 2 outs. First base is open. Strong sunlight. Silent decision made, and that's going to go on a hit by pitch, which loads up the bases. Now, this is what the Cannons were looking for. Not only to get those runs, but also to put the pressure out there. Grinnis' arm is going to be getting colder. We've got a long inning going on here.
Yeah, it's definitely the Cannons here pushing early, as I believe Pujols wore that one off the elbow, and he is in a lot of pain here. That's not a good sight to see this early on in the game.
We will have a check-in, if we can, with the game that is happening through in Glasgow with the Devils and Comets. and we will bring you the score updates from there as soon as we can. Pujols after that, making his way up to first base. Pujols at first, Silverberg at second, Sue at third. We got bases loaded, we got 2 outs, and we got Gonzalez coming in for the Cannons. As Grinnis just directs his infield and outfield on left-hand side of the field to get ready. Pitch comes in, and that's going to be left for strike 1. Not 1 comes into not 2. It's rolling into the backstop, but with close backstop here in Edinburgh, we do have to use a temporary backstop here as we have communal playing fields here. That ball's not really going to roll away, so Sue is just going to stay out there once more. He's been at third base now for some time in this game. Just waiting for the moment and the chance to get down. And there's a swung on strike 3, and the side is retired. Elvis Grinnis gets himself out of a jam there and bases loaded. But with 2 on the board, Cannons are taking their lead as we head through the first and get ready to go into the top of the second.
Yep.
Numbers on the doors.
3 hits, 2 runs, 3 left on base there for the Cannons as they jump out to an early lead. Coming to bat for the Galaxy is Darren, Martin, and McIntosh. We will be right back with the top of the second.
Top of the second here as the Edinburgh Cannons welcome the Glasgow Galaxy here. Cannons half a game back from the top of the league with 2 weekends to go, and that first seed spot, whoever claims that, is basically guaranteed home advantage throughout the entire postseason, which will be a single semi-final game. And if you do make it through to the final, it's going to be a 3-game series this year. I think it's the first time in recent seasons that we've actually went for multi-game series for the post-season here.
Yeah, first time, new decision this year. Cannons captain Rory Dunn, a big advocate of that.
Pitch comes in and it's a liner and it bounces through from Darren, picked up shortstop Pujol down to Silverberg, and that's going to be in time. 1 pitch, 1 away. Sal, of course, has that 2-run cushion built up by his team in the bottom of the first, and he's carrying on as he has done in keeping control of the mound and of the batter's box possible. Second, Glasgow Galaxy second baseman Ty Martin coming in now and brings themselves ahead in the count, 1-0. And that 1-0 is a high looping, so we're going to go for 2-0.
Speaking in the post-game interview last week, Nick Willoughby mentioned it's quite tough to pitch to Martin as he has a bit of a smaller frame.
Finds the edge of the outside of that small strike zone there to 2-1.
Martin, of course, being one of the Galaxy's main threats to steal. As a ball there comes in from our juniors training going on. If you are under the age of 16 and interested in playing baseball, the Edinburgh Giants exist as your option there. And in Glasgow, I believe there is a team as well. So get down. You can find us on our website, baseballscotland.com, .co.uk, apologies, or on any socials, Facebook, Instagram, and any such goodies.
Kangles equal high, 2-2. And 2-2 comes in, and it's a swung on there low, possibly grazing the bottom of the zone, but nevertheless strike 3. Third strike out for Stell so far in the game.
Up to 93 now on the season for those keeping count.
That would be you and me.
Yes.
We've not mentioned to it in our earlier step in the game. And hopefully he doesn't hear us talking about it this distance here. McIntosh in now and watches that one go inside for a ball, 1-0.
Very dusty day behind the plate here for the catchers. Dust, popping out of the glove after every pitch.
Count goes equal low, 1-1. It's 2 out so far. No runners on as yet in this inning for the Galaxy. And looking for the outside low corner, not finding it, 2-1. Shortstop Del Rosario just drifting a little bit towards second base. There is a gap there from McIntosh to line drive through if he can find it.
Nasty slider there from Stell, just disappearing on the batter.
Count goes equal high. 2-2 comes in. That's going to fill the count up. All the lights are on. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Foul, out, or action? What are you expecting? That's a swing and a miss there on strike 3. There's your out. And it's the 3rd out. With that, 3 up, 3 down.
No hits, no errors, nobody left on base. Coming to bat now for the Cannons. Cyril Pilone, and back to the top of the lineup with Hernandez. The Cannons up 2-0 early, looking to add on to their lead. We will be right back.
Welcome back as we go into the bottom of the second. Cyril Pillow and Hernandez going to be your 1, 2, 3 in this inning for the Cannons.
Cyril, one of the rare switch hitters we have here in Baseball Scotland.
Deciding to go left for this at-bat. Grinnis remains on the mound for the Glasgow Galaxy. Again, the Galaxy outfield deciding to play deep. That comes in and that's a clipped foul behind third base line. And not quite the car park. So the ball has no memory in baseball. That's what Grinnis is going to need at this point now. That reset, start again. There's no outs, there's no runners on. Let's put the 2 runs behind and out of mind if at all possible. And just work what is in front of you.
Yeah, sun shining on him too now. Just as he would have wanted, working from the windup here.
Sarah lets that strike go past. Moment of still, slight breeze, pitch in. He's going to watch that one go past for another ball. It's indicated an outside and low. Curtis pitched himself away and out the bases loaded situation. Check swing there from Searle. And with that, we have our full count. Moment to decide the payoff. And that's going to line drive out, drops just in front of Sweeney out in left field. And that's going to be in time up to first base. And we have first batter becomes first base runner. It's finding a gap in between McIntosh at first and Sweeney in the outfield. And Searle's speed on the base path now is going to be of interest. DH Pillow comes in now, 217 for the season coming into this. Runner goes, and it's going to be inside. So we do have Kit Searle up to second.
Pillon having to dodge that one out the way. Wonder what will be going through his head after that one came in right into him there. He's all smiles and accepts the apology nicely from the pitcher, though.
What he's probably thinking is, in all that kerfuffle, the distraction made sure that his teammate got up into scoring position. Kit Searle up at second now. Pillow 10th in the lineup. We'll be back to the top of the order in a moment. And that's lofted up, and it goes straight into the glove of Guy Martin out at second base there. One away. Hernandez hit for a single on the first pitch from Grinnis for the Edinburgh Cannons at the top of the first. He'll be hoping for a similar result, but he'll also be conscious he's got teammate up in scoring position. So we'll be looking to move down from second to third. And that's going to be an incredibly high pop-up. It's going into foul territory, but it's a potential, and it's a confirmed. Grinnis takes that into his glove for the second out. 2 away.
Now captain and catcher Rory Dunn up to bat. Singled to short in his first at bat for an infield single. 1 for 1 on the day.
Where you have somebody like Silverbank to a very low practice swing. Dunn has a very much vertical high practice swing before setting the bat into the shoulder. One of the delights of baseball, isn't it? Everybody's got their little, this is what I've got to do beforehand. Got to do exactly the same. Got to get myself into the same physical and mental position. And there we are. That.
I don't know.
Pick off a temp up to second. And my first thought was, are we close to a balk there or not? It's not being called. That doesn't necessarily mean it doesn't. In the league that we have here, umpires do tend to just go, take it easy. That's close to it.
I think the umpire was happy that he didn't commit quite enough to the plate there.
Well, we'll send that one over to Close Call Sports on YouTube, shall we?
The thing you said about the everyone has their own unique little thing, I don't know if that's such a unique thing to just baseball in Scotland. I think that's just
that's what I mean. It is. That is. It is arguably one of the most superstitious games out there.
Absolutely.
Pitch comes in. And that's a little bouncer from Rory Dunn. He's going to walk up to first. And Grinnis is going, shall I tag you or shall I just roll that up? I'm just going to roll that one up to first base with an underhand gentle toss. And the 1-3 there.
And
gives us the third out.
For the Cannons, no runs, 1 hit, 1 runner left on. Now coming to bat for the Galaxy, pitcher Elvis Grinnis, third baseman John McDade, and center fielder Arthur Zhao. It is your 1-2-3 for the Galaxy. coming to bat in the top of the third. We will be right back.
Welcome back. The Galaxy chasing a 2-run deficit. Andrew Sweeney is in there for the first in the order in the top of the third. Ali Hay next, Elvis Grinis after that is your 1, 2, 3. First pitch is in as we get just a little bit of cloud cover coming over. There's another swing. Guarantees a strike.
Sweeney mentioning to me before the game that he does like facing Garrett Stell. Says he's got some good success off of him. Let's see if he can back those words up as he goes down on 3 pitches.
You know, if he listens back to this, he's going to be really upset with what you did.
I think so too.
Yeah, the amazing thing here is, look, I was researching this last week. Yeah, somebody went through all the sort of like complete games and perfect games to find out if the commentator jinx works. And they found out that most of the time, there's no jinx. And the majority of the time, at least in the majors, everybody's reminded it's the complete game and the pitcher's on for a record at some point during that. The whole idea of commentators being silent during that sort of thing, it's a myth. That said, on the bench, it's not.
I agree. I think it's just it's a matter of as long as the player is executing, and I mean, they're not going to hear the commentary. If the player is executing, then it's a matter of just apologies psychologically hearing that you've got a perfect game when you know that's in your psyche. It's gonna mess with you if you hear it yourself. Whereas if a fan hears it, I mean, I'm sure they'll think it's a jinx, but ultimately it's up to the pitcher.
Strike and ball coming in there on Ali Hay. Is working the count as much as he can. I've got a simple rule of thumb here in terms of that whole idea of the jinxes. That's fouled off past the Enricans. You remember long ago there was a perfect game in the World Series back in the 60s. It was the first time it was done, and it was called by Vin Scully all the way through. It's on. There's a perfect game on here. There's a perfect game on here. As that ball comes in low, if Vin does it, I'm good with it.
Yep, don't disagree with you.
Difference, of course, here is Vin was very, very high up in the stadium, and we are right behind the plate with nothing to stop the sound coming through.
And all it takes is one slight little bit of excitement from us, and all of a sudden we're screaming about a perfect game and directly to the pitcher.
And swing and a miss there is going to be strike 3 on Ali Hay. And we go back there to the top of the order. Yeah, we were just actually discussing this ourselves in the commentators chat of what we would actually do if that sort of situation came up. And the best I've come up with so far is we'd mention it when we do the scores on the doors at the end of an inning until we got to the last inning.
Yes, I think that is probably the best solution there.
Now, there's a comments box below us here at YouTube, and especially if you're a pitcher in Baseball Scotland, we'd really like to hear what you think. That goes for everybody else. What do we do? Because it is a special moment at any level to throw that sort of game as that comes inside for ball 2. So it should be celebrated. It is exciting.
Yeah. And I think at least for me personally, when I watch these games back, often I'll be skipping around towards the end of an inning just to find out where the action was. And, you know, I think having that mention just to realize what exactly is going on for the people that just don't have time to watch a full 3-hour game, just to have that idea of what's going on and just see the outs and what the pitcher's doing. Speaking of outs, Garrett Stell now up to 6 strikeouts on the day.
And there's a ground that goes past first base, and Ivan Hernandez rolls into the left outfield. That's going to allow Grinis to get on base.
And speaking of no-hitter, that is the first
That's the
hit
end of the no-hitter there. It's almost like we were just going, are we going to mention it? It's like once you get to just before halfway, third, we play for 7 here. So it's like bottom of the third, it was probably just want to maybe flag that one up there. It's almost like we were doing a Vince Scully and preparing you for the next chapter of the story, but now we don't need it.
I think a little bit of us not mentioning it, but us talking about the general gist of it might have jinxed it, I suppose. Even though
It's a bit early. I don't till you get about halfway. So I think really 3 out of 7 is before you can start considering that sort of thing.
One time through the order is not enough to consider it.
Pitch comes in there. It's McDay to drew a walk in the first inning. And for those of you just wondering, there is another number that may be coming up shortly for Snell, but we will hopefully... And the runner goes up there as Grinnis takes off from first to second. It's a long loop throw up into second base. It bounces off the ground, but not going to go any further. As Pujols just comes over to back up Del Rosario on the catch there. So up into scoring position there for Grinnis. 2 away so far. Ball comes in there. Cannons are up by 2. Glasgow Galaxy held them to no runs in the second inning, so kept them close. The one in scoring position here. Tying run at first. 2 strikes though, so Snell can just neuter the start of this little run here if possible, but that goes behind the passed ball. It's going to be called foul though, so slow, catch your breath. Nope, we're going to be good on that one. Grinnis has got himself down to third. Half the deficit there. Third as that one's chopped around the foot of home plate. McDade here, as I said, drew a walk and is keeping this inning alive.
Yeah, 2 outs for the Galaxy. McDade batting .200 on the season, looking to pick up the RBI.
Goes for the inside, draws another walk, fills the corners. So with 2 away, there's not a huge amount here to play with. The obvious one is to get that steal and get 2 up into scoring position. Arthur's down now in, struck out in the first inning. Runner goes up from first to second. Cannon's catcher already done. Threatening to throw, but really that was more to see if he could bluff Grinnis to come down. But both are too experienced in this game to catch the other one out there, I feel. Pitch in, and that's swung on low. It goes back into the backstop, and this time now it is going to be an attempt to slide in and steal home. It's a successful steal, so Grinnis halves the deficit from 2 runs down to 1. Pitch comes in there, past the ball, and then rolls right into the edge of the backstop here. Still alert enough to come down and cover, but Grinnis' speed there, bringing the first run for the Glasgow Galaxy home.
Yeah, first run of the game makes it a 1-run game with a runner on third, threatening to tie the game up early, and suddenly the Cannons lead isn't looking as safe as it was. Not that a 2-run lead is particularly safe to begin with.
It's all about keeping them close and letting swing and a miss there. Comes out. Cannons did have the opportunity to extend that lead but didn't take it, and they're held back from the Galaxy in the second inning, and that's kept that game close for the Galaxy fans to bring themselves to 2-1.
Zhao, interestingly, I believe using the bat made famous by the Yankees, the torpedo bat, with a focus on the barrel lower down.
A sweeter spot, but a smaller spot. It's an interesting trade for the batters, and it's all about whether you reckon you can get the location quickly and smartly on the pitch coming in. That's where your torpedo bat has the advantage, the sharp eyes. And there's a grounder. It bounces and it goes past third base. Ali Dade brings himself home. Mick Dade, not Ali Dade. Whose handwriting is that there? The Glasgow Galaxy, though, are probably going to forgive me because that's the game tied up here, 2-2. Zhao getting himself the RBI. Fast grounder going past third base in the gap between the bag and even Hernandez and into the left outfield.
And our third pitcher on pitcher matchup here is Jacob Wright steps up to bat once again.
Although technically Wright's playing catcher, we're looking a little bit in the future.
Oh,
assuming the picture. that was fun.
Used to him pitching. Obviously,
Wicked inside and low there.
Having played 72% of the Galaxy's innings.
Runner goes from first up to second. Zhao's on the run. The throw is going to go up there. It's not in time, so Zhao safe at second and into scoring position. He is the go-ahead. Right, it was a ground out 4-3, and with 2 outs already on the board, he's going to have to just lift that a little bit more to get the go-ahead around. There's going to be a lot of speed from Zhao, but it's a big risk if you want to try and take third on a 2-out situation on a steal.
Especially with your cleanup hitter up to bat. It's always risky stealing on the lefty still. He does have a pickoff move, which has caught quite a few people out this year. That's a big lead there at second.
Now he's going to go for the steal, and the pitch is wide. So no opportunity there for catcher Rory Dunn to get a clean catch and throw. So waiting for the moment and got the moment. Steals down to third. 2 outs. The tactical options reduced. Check swing there comes from Wright.
Did not agree with that call by home plate umpire Crespo.
Strike is called.
I believe it was on the swing there.
Strike 2. Still can keep the game tied with this pitch. That's fouled off. Cannons half a game back in the lead. In the league, looking for that top seeding spot for the postseason, which will kick off on August 31st with the semi-finals. Galaxy will not be postseason, but still have the games to play. And they're putting up strong defense there. Oh, there we go. Zhao's meant to do the steal. Does that, but the throw up from catcher is an overthrow to the outfield. Zhao brings himself home after a little stumble, thinking, am I going to go back to third? Lost the footing. Got to commit to the home run. Got to commit to the run home. If you can home run there from third base, that would be an interesting rules book check. Zhao there on with the single. And then a steal on the 270 feet home. That puts the Glasgow Galaxy up 1 run. Jacob Wright still in the plate. Decides to let that one go past, but it's going to hit the zone for strike 3.
And for the Galaxy there, 2 hits, 3 runs, taking the lead of the game in the top of the third for the Cannons. Now coming to bat, we have Del Rosario, Sue, and Silverberg as your 3, 4, and 5. The Cannons coming to bat. We will be right back.
Bottom of the third here in Edinburgh as the Glasgow Galaxy just popped 3 on the board to take a 3-2 lead against the Edinburgh Cannons, who are chasing the top seed position here for the Baseball Scotland AAA post-season. Elvis Grinnis is going to stay on the mound into the third inning, Del Rosario's you and Silverberg, respectively reaching on fielder's choice double and dropped third strike in the first inning. Now facing Grinnis once more.
Yeah, Galaxy there taking the lead, just as they will have wanted, as they look to play spoiler here in the league title race.
Relatively obvious, but we are sports commentators, so relatively obvious is our bread and butter. The Cannons are wanting to get back into the lead as quickly as possible and post at least 2 in this inning.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think they have the batters, the heart of the order here coming up to do exactly that damage. Del Rosario last time out reached on a fielder's choice and then came round to score. Sue doubled and drove in Del Rosario, and Silverberg reached on a dropped third strike. Grinnis now getting set for his third inning of work.
Outfield again playing incredibly deep for the Galaxy, almost right out to the warning track and fence here. And we open up with a grounder that stage goes foul just in front of the third bag there. Matter of inches there, and that would have been single with a look to a double there coming off the first pitch, but no, it just ends up as a foul, but danger is there.
Yep. The Galaxy have already equaled their most runs scored against the Cannons this season.
And that's popped up high to the backstop. What is the head-to-head at the moment, Philip, between
so
the
the
teams?
head-to-head is currently 2-0. In May, the Cannons took a 5-3 victory at home against the Galaxy. Then in June, the Cannons took a 6-1 victory. Stell going 5 innings in the second one and 2 in the first. Wright pitched a lot of the game.
That's lined out to third base, picked up there by McDade, thrown over to McIntosh there.
Great play there to keep the ball in the infield and have any chance at a play, but the speedy Del Rosario beats that one out.
1 on. Opening batter runner, opening runner.
And now once again, the Cannons batting average leader, Rocky Sue, coming to bat, doubled his first time up.
Fast pitch comes in. Steele was on. It's going to be thrown up, an attempt up to second. Not in time. Slightly off target as well, but Martin able to make sure that doesn't go into the outfield. Del Rosario up to scoring position.
Closer than Del Rosario would have liked there. Did not get the best jump.
Grin is fireballing that one down as well.
He
There's a
is,
lot of pace on that one coming down. I think that's probably what made it closer on the attempt up at second.
Wright is usually the Galaxy's pitcher, so he certainly does not have a bad arm.
Curveball came in there previously for the ball. Glance back to second. Steps off and disengages and just makes sure everybody stays fair up at second. Del Rosario close enough there just to jog back in.
As mentioned, Sue is the Cannons batting average leader, but he is certainly not a contact hitter. One of the few players here in Baseball Scotland to have hit a home run.
That's going to go foul down third base line. Right now, Cannons with the righties just driving down that third line in this inning. Finding a gap between McDade and the third base bag as well. McDade just having to come in a little bit closer now in the openings of the inning. But with that, you've now got gap between third and short. And that's where their compromise is, because they know they've got Del Rosario up on second. They know he's got the speed. They're having to decide where you want to lean your defense into. on the hit or on the base run?
I think you almost have to just get the outs one by one.
That's a hit by pitch off equal high count there. So Sue brings himself up to first on that, but isn't able to bring anything else to the game. Nevertheless, 2 runners on with no outs. Grayson Wright just checking in. I wonder if that's do you want to go a bit longer, or do you want to do the switch over now? I put right into pitch. The moment stays steady. And while we don't have any offensive or defensive changes between the innings, we have had an umpire change with Ryan McFarlane now taking the outfield first base umpire role. Runner goes, and Del Rosario goes up from second to third. He's going to be called in safe, so the steal credit goes to him, and in the same breath, Sue brings himself up to second as well on that same steal. So 2 into scoring position, tying at third, go ahead at second.
Silverberg in his first at-bat struck out, but did reach on a drop third strike. I don't know if a strikeout in the stat sheet does the justice for just how good of an at-bat that was, fouling off about 6-7 pitches.
And that's going to pop up into the glove first base there, so Steve Silverberg hands the ball to Galaxy's McIntosh there. 1 away. An incredibly long first inning for Silverberg. It translates to a very short second appearance.
He went to mouth with just about everyone else there. Now our third pitcher-on-pitcher matchup.
Still comes in now. Struck out swinging previously. Grinnis keeps that pressure on as the count goes 0-1.
Lovely pitch on the outside corner.
1 away, runners at second and third. First base is open. Another line hit down foul down third base. I'm just wondering if the Cannons are just saying everybody go that way. They're certainly favouring that at the moment. Wind blowing sharply over from third baseline dugout over to the center right outfield.
With just 1 out, it will be interesting to see what the Cannons runners do here.
And that's swung on and missed. Strike 3. And 4th strikeout for Grinnis there on the Galaxy. So 2 away, 2 runners on, second and third. Pujols reach on the hit by pitch in the first inning. Now in the third, it's a chance to reclaim the lead with a good swing, and it's a chopper goes up, shortstop picks that up, and Darian, and it goes underneath him, so there's 1 run home, we're tied up. Throws down, catcher right, does that, relays back up to third, back into pitcher, is that caught in the rundown, and there's the eventual tag for the third out there. It's scrappy, but it's there, and it all counts. Del Rosario brings in the tying run. Not that there, Rocky Sue heads into third, turns the corner, come down to home, but then caught in a rundown. Smart hit out to Darian there, picked up, bobbled out the hand, which did allow Pujols to reach on fielder's choice for those of you keeping stats at home, but that meant that it was actually an easy throw to actually start off the rundown there. No, I have no idea how I'm going to put that down in the scoring card. We will look back on that one. I think we'll go for troll counting on that one. 1 too many lots.
Now, the Cannons that inning, 1 run, 1 hit, and 1 error charged on the Galaxy there. Nonetheless, they managed to tie the game. Coming to bat now for the Galaxy is Darren, Martin, and McIntosh, the heart of the order. 5, 6, 7. We will be right back with the top of the 4th.
Three innings played over regulation 7, and we will go for 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, however long it takes to get a score. We're tied up here, 3-3. As Garrett Stour returns to the mound and opens up with the strike to Dyron. Martin and McIntosh are going to be up 2nd and 3rd. Well, everybody's off the hook. Everything resets. Essentially, we're talking a 4-inning game of baseball now. Is that fouls over the back to take Dyron to a 0-2 count. What doesn't reset is the statistics. 7 strikeouts so far for Stell. Last inning, 3 runs scored, but all 3 outs came from strikeouts from Stell, so keeping it balanced there as well. That comes outside and low. Gives us a 1-2 count.
For those keeping count, 97 strikeouts now for Stell, just 3 away.
Say it very quietly. And that's going to fly out. It goes into center at left field. It comes over. Gonzalez comes over to take that catch there. And there's 1 away. As you keeping your scorebooks. Hello to everybody from the Reddit Baseball Scorecards forum. Like to keep an eye on me. If you are, I'm marking that one down as an L7. Is it an argument if it's a fly ball or not?
I think it went a bit too high to be a line drive.
Were his feet planted? Was he standing steady to get the ball,
Yes,
or was he on the run?
He was under it.
Scorer's discretion. Tell you what, you do fly, I'll do line, and we'll meet somewhere in the middle.
Flying out?
Doesn't matter. We're not the official scorers. We could check back that later. This is just the unofficial scorers card we're doing. Pitch comes in high and outside there. Martin working the count up previously, took it to 2-2 before the strikeout. Balls and strikes already on the board for this at-bat. He does that, and it's a grounder. Goes through the gap between 3rd and short, so that's comfortable up. And a single there. Martin reaching base for the first time this game. Sounds like there's some personal challenges in the Glasgow Galaxy bench. Out to the shortest strike zone from either dugout today. McIntosh in now. Again, drove up to a 2-2 count and then struck out swinging previously. 1 away right now with the runner on first. Is the game tied, so that's the go-ahead there from Kai Martin. Goes for the steal up from 1st to 2nd. It's not a clean catch from Rory done behind the plate, so just eats that one and lets Martin take 2nd base there and into scoring position.
Judging by the Galaxy dugout's reaction, that might have been Martin's first hit of the year. Just judging by the reaction and the celebration.
We will get back on the stats on that one to you. Of course, if you're watching this back on YouTube, you can just head to Baseball Scotland and have a look at the stats page, so you'll be able to do it faster than us. A pick of attempt back at 2nd.
Ooh,
close, but Martin's safe there. That's an on-target throw, though, from Stell. Up there to Pujols, and just, well, that would be an action replay if we could get there. Pitch comes in low to the inside to the feet of McIntosh. Scores equal high. 1 away, tied game. Long looping ball, 3 and 2.
Stell wanted that one, I think.
First base is open. Maybe looking. And there's strike 3. 8th strikeout of the game. We'll leave anything else to the end of the inning. I refer to all our delightful watchers to the conversation we had some moments ago.
I'll whisper it.
It's not going to happen this one. Well, no, you could get no, you can get 4 outs, but you're not going to get any more of the extras with a little bit of a bend.
It still counts.
You could get 4 outs, but you couldn't get 2 more strikes off the last one.
You absolutely could. A drop third strike.
Oh, you could, yeah.
Hopefully that doesn't happen.
Now that's a really big.
I don't think
the jinx doesn't exist. Again, we've talked about that previously. Anyway, Andrew Sweeney in now. Struck out. Oh, there we go. In the 3rd inning, coming in batting 200 for the season into this game. Two away. Runner on second base in scoring position is Kai Martin. He's taking a good lead there, a good 10 feet lead or so. But again, that fast throw needs to go up. And the danger with that throw is this time, Pujols really wasn't in the best position. And if that gets under a glove, then that steal is going to happen.
Yeah. Martin has stolen.
Pitch comes in and that's popped up behind the netting.
Martin has stolen a lot of bases here for the Galaxy, one of their main threats to run in that lineup.
He's got to be careful though, 2 outs at the moment. Sweeney also on a not 2 count as well.
The age-old rule there, you don't want to make the 3rd out on the base paths.
And there's strike 3.
And with that 3rd out of the inning, Stell up to 99 strikeouts, just 1 away for the Galaxy. 1 hit, no runs, no errors. Coming to bat for the Cannons, we have Gonzalez, Sill, and Pillon making up your 8, 9, and 10. We will be right back.
Well, we play 7 and we're going into the bottom of the 4th. So we're halfway through. There's a high pop-up there from Gonzalez off that first pitch. It's goal by third baseman McDade, and it's a little bit of having to walk and get underneath it, but it's safely in the glove. 1 pitch, 1 pop, 1 away. High fly, high pop-up there into Gonzalez. Gonzalez, Sell, and Pillow here in the tied game. 3 to the Galaxy, all coming from the 3rd inning. Cannons out, took an early lead in the first with 2 runs and then put another one on to equal it all up again at the bottom of the 3rd.
Goodness, pitch count here is starting to look in better and better shape. A lot of first pitch outs for the Cannons.
Sarah lets that one go past for a ball. Gets ahead in the count. And 1-0 for... If there's going to be a relief pitcher for the Cannons, it could well be Sarah later on in the game. Inside for another ball there. And there's a step back out of the box to reset. No pitch clock here at Baseball Scotland. Game speed and time regulated by honour. Comes in there. It's a hefty swing, but doesn't make contact.
The question is, right? We follow MLB the rule book.
Most of it.
That's what the website says in terms of game rules. Now, our rule book does include a pitch clock. So technically, should we have a pitch clock?
It also, well, the other thing there, it says, you know, we can put 10 in the lineup there, and you don't have that in the majors. So, and that's going to be a line drive, goes foul down first base line. I think that, you know, that could have been a little bit flatter. The speed and the power could have been there. It would have been 4 at cricket. It ain't cricket. And there's another hefty swing and a miss there, though, for strike 3. 2 up, 2 down so far, and the 5th strikeout for Elvis Grinnis there. Pillow comes in now. Line drive to second base and out the bottom of the 2nd. I think there's also, it's, you know, a pitch clock is actually a pretty complicated thing to run. That one comes in, swing and a miss for strike 1. Having actually been in the scorer's box, admittedly in the minor league, over with the it's not Boston, it's with the Brooklyn Cyclones. It's a dedicated person on the pitch clock. There's 3 buttons there: to start, to stop, to clear, to reset, and go through. And you know, here's a more interesting question just to pitch it. Haha. Would you prefer somebody here constantly in a stopwatch, or another umpire?
As in a dedicated pitch clock umpire?
And that's popped up high there from Pillow. It's going to drop. It's another for the glove of McDade out there on third base for the 3rd out there. And we're going to carry on our conversations about the pitch clock, I suspect, when we go into the top of the 5th here. But that was a 3 up, 3 down. The Edinburgh Cannons not able to break the deadlock here in the 4th.
And the score remains 3-3. As now for the Galaxy, we have Hay as the 2nd leadoff hitter in the 10 hole and the 9 hole. And then back to the top of the lineup, Grinnis, McDade coming up to bat next. For the Galaxy, we will be right back.
Welcome back, top of the 5th here. We'll do the pitch clock conversation in just a little bit more, because the number that's staring me now, well, it's the #1 hit from the 1980s. It's your favourite ice cream. It's also the season's pitch count for Garrett Stell. 99 red balloons, 99 flakes, 99 strikeouts. He's already passed 1,000 pitches for the season. Now he's looking to go 1,100. And that one's fouled off. Count goes 0-1 off Hay.
His K/9 is looking more like a Aroldis Chapman's than something you'd expect here in Baseball Scotland. Of course, a left-hander. Maybe doesn't throw 106 miles an hour, but definitely up there.
0-1 comes in, goes inside. Count goes equal low. 1-1. Outfield comes in a little. Pitch comes in, and that's going to go inside once more. He goes ahead, 2-1 in the count. Earlier we did speak to Stahl, and he wasn't aware that he was coming into the game in 995 pitches, so as the 2-1 comes in, turns it to a 3-1, so I don't think he's going to be aware that he's going to be joining the 1,100 on his next one. It's a 3-1 count though. Comes in, swung on, foul back, count goes full. 3-2.
Little secret here, someone who's caught still. I would place money on this being a slider. He loves a 3-2 slider. Get them swinging.
First opportunity. Comes in. And that's going to be called a walk. Ali Hay takes 3-2 with the lights on, puts them all out and brings himself up to first.
And that is a clear example of why you don't listen to the commentator. Very wrong as he went with the fastball there.
First lead-off batter that the Mr. Grimstow. That is a quote there for the kids, very much so. First lead-off runner for the Glasgow Galaxy in this game as we head here top of the fifth. Last we heard from the other games taking place today. Was a 4-4 tied game so far as the pick-up attempt over at first is called out. Outfield umpire there, Ryan McFarlane. Hey, convinced that he was back there in time. Politely asking if he can do the challenge. Goes out to Captain Jacob Wright, who heads back to play number Harry Crespo. So the game pressure and tension is high, but everybody's staying polite and keeping the discussion steady. And we are going to have an umpire conference there as well.
Very close play there at first.
We are a development league, and we know we have a lot of younger players watching us as well. Doing a polite call and then addressing it through your captain up to the umpiring staff in these sort of situations is probably the best way to go. And while we do have the cameras running, we cannot send this to New York or Newcastle or even New Craig Hall. That's why we have our umpires just getting together, discussing all the circumstances that are going on there. Ali Hay working that count up full previously to take it to full count, and then the walk up there. Steal attempt was given, and Hay bringing himself back up to first base. So after an umpire discussion, it's a pickoff attempt. Hay comes back in, so we are no outs. Runner on first at a tied game 3-3. In the top of the fifth of the regulation 7. And we welcome pitcher. Elvis Grinnis comes in for the Glasgow Galaxy. Into the box, Garrett Stell. Brings that one inside for ball 1. Grinnis is the top of the order as well. Strikeout looking. And a single. So the card is 1 for 2 in the game so far. Ali Hay. Curious to see if he's going to be comfortable doing a steal in the near future from first base after those extended discussions. Although 2-0 count. He will just be trusting the bat of his teammate and just staying a little bit closer. Snell, of course, has line of sight as he prepares the pitch. And that comes in. Strike called. One count there. Grinnis was ready for the walk. Pick off attempt there. It's cleanly not happening this time.
No doubt about that one there.
Snell settles in once more. One strike so far. And there's the swing on that one there. No contact made. Strike 2.
Slight correction there. I do believe it was called a foul ball. Hence why the runner did not advance on the ball past the catcher.
Situationally though, the count stays there at 3-2. Pick off attempt number 3 on Hay. All three have been unsuccessful. There's another rule from the majors that we do not have and use in the book here at Baseball Scotland. No limit on the pickoff attempts. Pitch comes in and it goes underneath. What there is awarded. 2 full counts, translating to 2 walks for Stell so far. As the Galaxy get the go-ahead up in a scoring position on second base. It's Hay. Grimm's working that count from his opposing pitcher to get himself up onto first. McDade, who's been playing out in left field, manages to ground that one through. It's picked up there. Pujols takes that, throws it over to first for the comfortable out at first in the glove of Steve Silverberg. McDade previously with a walk and a walk, now a ground out. That's 2 pop-up catches in the previous inning. Kept the game tied. So comes in now. Strikeout in the first inning. Single in the third. Looking to see what happens in the fifth as the Cannons bring in the infield to the mound. Runners at second and third. Grinnis and Hay advancing through after McDade's ground out. And with the defensive meet over, everybody steps back into position. Left field playing deep for the Cannons. Rocky Hughes, Sterling Gonzalez staying a little bit closer in the outfield. Pitch comes in and that's hit on. It's a bouncer, it goes up to third base. And Hayes going to be caught in a run down here and tagged out from catcher Rory Dunn there in a 5-2. So there's a reach on fielder's choice for Zhao. But he there, the go ahead, is actually caught in the run down.
Huge out there to get the runner there in a rundown.
Two away. Runners are at the corners now. And Cannons looking to keep this a tied game. Glasgow Galaxy looking to take the lead for the first time. We've never been able to put through more than 3 runs past the Cannons this season. And with us tied at 3-3, this is going to be their opportunity to do that. Catcher Jacob Wright steps in. Ground out and strikeout so far. 2 away. It's not at the corners. Grinnis has actually held himself after that rundown mess at second. Leaving space for his teammate for Hay to try and get back in the previous play. Which has left him locked in at second. So runners at first and second, 2 away. Pickoff attempt over at first, and it's a bounce out the glove of Silverberg. There was a consideration made for the run by Zhao. Didn't take it, but Grinnis did decide to do that, and the ball remained live. Bit of confusion there, so Zhao takes that opportunity to bring himself up into second base there as well. Confusion in the infield there from the Edinburgh Cannons, which has turned runners at first and second to runners at second and third. Tied game, 2 away. First base is open. I think we're going to have a balk call there as well.
No, I believe it's an intentional walk there. Rather facing Darren than right in that spot.
Ground out in line out previously for Darren. Long time since I've had to put an IW down in the scorecard. So, bases loaded, 2 away, any bag. Pitch comes in fast on the inside. Stell's first bases loaded situation. I think looking back at the card, Grinnis has pitched himself out of the one when the Cannons did that to the Galaxy back in the first inning. Stell will be hoping for a similar result, for a strikeout and retire the side with no, keeping the game 3-3. Pitch comes in, swung on and missed. There's one more strike on the board. Time called, everybody settles back in. There's a little bit of noise and bustle coming from the Cannons dugout, being asked for to be brought down. Pitch comes in, swung on, miss. Strike two. Count is equal high, 2-2. Bases are loaded. A tied game with 2 away. Still looking for a strikeout here. He's not going to get it this time. Count goes full. All the lights are on. 2 outs, 2 strikes, 3 balls, 3 runs to the Galaxy, 3 runs to the Cannons. And a season high ready here for Stell, and he throws the walk. And that walks Grinnis in as well and gives the Galaxy the first lead they've had in this game. The bases remain loaded. Kai Martin comes in with small strike zone expert. Was struck out in the second inning. Singled in the fourth. He's coming in now with bases loaded and the team ahead by 1. Stell brings in strike 1. Count goes 0-1. If he knew his numbers, I would say, I wonder if he's tightening up. And the pressure of the game is doing that no matter what the book says. Strike 2 though. Chance to limit the damage to just 1 run. He's got some space in the count to do that. Pitch comes down and he goes inside. The steal at home is attempted and successful. 1 more run on the board there. Zhao decides, commits hard there in a 2-out situation and brings himself in to double the lead of the Galaxy.
Yeah, bold decision on an 0-2 count there to steal home. Absolutely massive to get the lead there.
That said, Zhao's got 2 runs and they've both come from stealing home.
Yeah, but on the pitch too is
on the pitch with 2 outs, with bases loaded. Well, fortune favors the brave sometimes. It gives us a 4-2 game so far. At the top of the 5th, we do play the regulation 7 as well. And the Cannons are going to take another defensive meeting here, and we may see some changes. Sun coming back out again under cloudy conditions. There's a tiny gust. I say gust. It's a little bit of a breeze coming over, as it were. And we are going to have some defensive changes coming through there as well. Kit Sarl is going to come in and do the catching. Really done there. Just on that last play, just taking a little bit of a hefty stretch there. So he's going to step back from catching duties. And then we'll just wait to see where substitution comes in. Searle coming in from centre field. We'll just wait to get the word on who's going to be taking Searle's place out in centre field. Jimenez is going to be coming off the bench.
Jimenez there will be taking over the DH spot while Searle goes to catcher and Pion goes into right field with Sue moving out to center.
Well, that's going to be a fun one on the bit of paper. Still just being given some warm-up pitches there after that extended break. And then we will just go through the paperwork here. We're having fun on this one and out there. So Pilo goes out into left field. Sear now in centre field. Snell remains on the mound. Snell remains on the mound and Searle goes into catch. Decision made between pitcher and new catcher. Swung on there and it goes foul though. Kai Martin in to bat for the Glasgow Galaxy. Here's his teammates at second and third. Pitch goes in there and it is outside and high. We've talked before about Martin's small strike zone as well. That is not going to make this easy. Looks to be 1-2. And comes in there, swing and a miss, strike three. And the side is retired, and that's going to be the important thing in the situation for the Edinburgh Cannons. But that will be the 10th strikeout of the game for Garrett Stell. Garrett Stell now throwing 100 strikeouts for the season. And I think we'll be having a word with him afterwards with the season record there. Now going 1,000 pitches, 100 strikeouts. But in terms of the game, the advantage now goes towards the Glasgow Galaxy.
Yeah, 2 runs, no hits, no errors, 2 left on base there for the Galaxy as they grab a 5-3 lead. Coming to bat for the Cannons is the top of the lineup. Hernandez, the pinch hitter Jimenez going in at DH, and the shortstop Del Rosario. We will be right back.
Bottom of the 5th of a regulation 7 here in Edinburgh as the Glasgow Galaxy have taken a 2-run lead over the Edinburgh Cannons. It's 5-3 so far to the visitors. But the Edinburgh Cannons have top of the order. Hernandez, Jimenez coming in, and Del Rosario is going to be your 1, 2, 3 up here. Hernandez, single and pop up. Elvis Grinnis facing him for the 3rd time. An opening pitcher in here through 5.
Cannons here facing a tough challenge to overcome.
Strike thrown.
Season on the line here for the Cannons potentially. At least
not necessarily the season. The top, it would make it, having to claim that top seed spot, it would take them out of being in control of their own fate, and they would be looking for more results coming in week 2. Try and grab the home advantage if possible.
Absolutely.
Higher seed will get home advantage both in the semi-final on August the 31st. And I've actually not checked the book on, because we have a 3-game series for the final. I'm not sure where we do home and away.
The higher seed gets all 3 games at home, I believe. Crucially for the Cannons, though, that league spot, which they've claimed the last 2 years, is looking at risk.
Grinnis brings the pitch in. Not a check swing, but a check shoulder drop there from Hernandez. Just making sure that goes past. Count goes full at 3-2. Encouragement all round. And that's swung on but popped behind into the crowds. Couple of family members coming through here behind us in prime spot, and also around the dugouts either side as well. Certainly to double figures with the attendance. We will do an accounting of that for you shortly as the 3-2 comes in, and it's swung on and missed from Hernandez, and there's one away. Strikeout 6 for Grinnis. It is turning into a slugging strikeout here, slugging striking out game from both our pitchers here today.
Absolutely. Stell up to 10 strikeouts. Grinnis is racking them up 2 now, getting closer to that 10 mark at 6 strikeouts so far. Now the pinch hitter, number 19, Jimenez, coming to bat for the injured catcher, Rory Dunn. His first at bat of the game.
One away, 2 runs behind. Which comes in, it's a grounder, goes back up the mound, it goes past second base, it goes into center field, it's going to be a single. Intercepted by Zhao, so no thought at all of taking up to second, just get on base. One pitch, one hit, one base runner. Who's here pitching into the 5th inning as the starting pitcher. And there's a smart high hit there from Del Rosario. It's going in the outfield. It's into and out of the glove of Zhao in the center left field. The long throw is going down as Jimenez looks to get to third base. He's a stand in there. And it's an overthrown. It goes out of bounds after the foot was on the third base bag. Jimenez makes it all the way round there. 2 bases on the play and then an out of play, giving him the last 90 feet, and there's one coming home.
And just like that, on 2 hits and 3 pitches, the game is once again tied.
Del Rosario crosses the plate as well. I'm just waiting to see where he was when the ball went dead.
He was on second, however, because the throw came from the outfield, the runner, and then out of play, the runner gets awarded 2 bases, which does score Del Rosario.
So Del Rosario getting a double there to take it underway, and then the out of the play brings him round there as well. Nobody gets any RBIs, but again, situationally, that will be what the Cannons wanted in this inning. Send up 2 batters, send them all the way around, tie up the game, bring Rocky Sue up as the go-ahead run coming into this game. 7 for 19. He's put another hit on there as well, so he's 8 for 20 on the season. It's a double and a hit by pitch on the card for this game. Decision made. Grinnis takes that one, and that's fouled back towards the dugout. Looks there it's expecting enough speed and getting the fastball coming there and panicking to get that one away.
Yeah, I think the wind just took a hold a little bit of that double. He seemed to get a jump in and then realized he had to go back. In the end, it just went over his head. As we spoke about earlier on, the wind blowing out today to the outfield.
Swinging right there. And it wasn't actually 2 up, 2 runs, of course. Hernandez coming in That first pitch getting a strike, and then the second a strike, and then the third a strike there. So it is 3 up, 2 runs. 1 away. So he already has 2 in the count. Swings and misses on that one there for the second out. A slow, fast start for the Glasgow Galaxy, then an even faster return by the Edinburgh Cannons. And now that tempo swings back towards the Galaxy, but the game itself has swung into the balance. We're 5 runs to each, so everybody's off the hook, and we start the win-loss again. Pitch goes wide to the outside there. Silverberg in, batting left-handed.
He is always a threat to pull the ball here. Has 1 home run, as mentioned already, on the day. Yet to record a hit, a drop third strike, and a pop-up.
Lets that one goes past, but it's a strike. I mean, in terms of pulling Andrew Sweeney almost right on the fence there out in right field. Silverberg's already sent one up into that territory, but it was foul. Ball comes in there. I think that takes us 2-1.
It does indeed. Grinnis wanting that one real bad as he asked the umpire where it missed.
Stell is on deck. Time taken, pitch in, and it's popped up. It's going into the outfield. There's a run coming in from centre field, and it's picked up actually. Drops in between, or do we have a basket catch?
It dropped down. Silverberg staying at first base there.
Just dropping between Hay and Zhao there. Both on the run to try and get that. Hay reaching out with the glove. Right between ourselves here and one of the stanchions for the backdrop there. You want to know how that finished up? Well, it's a single for Silverberg. Off a fly out. Into left field. Both fielders there on the run. So no average effort was ever going to get that ball there. So the go-ahead is at first base. Silverberg's got the speed to steal second. So we'll keep one of our eyes there and one of those on Grinnis as he pitches that one to the outside. It's pitcher as he faces Garrett Stell, who is his second strikeout and his 4th strikeout so far. Silverberg just holding back at first for the moment. Pitch comes in, and that's fouled fast and low behind. Glasgow Galaxy outfield keeping themselves mobile and just resetting themselves from a left-handed batter to a right-handed batter. We got Zhao just leaning a little bit more into the left field than on the previous play. Pitch comes in, and that's popped up. It's going to be in foul territory. It's right on the edge of foul territory. It's going to be called a catch. And that is going to be the 3rd out for the side as McDade's glove gets that in foul territory. Right on the edge of the line as well.
Absolutely. Cannons not too happy with that call, but nonetheless, it was 2 runs on 3 hits there for the Cannons. 1 runner left on base as the Cannons tie the game once again. We start again here in the 6th inning. Coming to bat now for the Galaxy, we have McIntosh, Sweeney, and Hay. We will be right back.
I'm Ewan Spence.
I'm Filip Makarowski.
Coming to you from the Bobby Thompson Memorial Field here in Edinburgh. Tied game after 5 innings, 5 to the Galaxy, visiting from Glasgow. 5 to the Cannons, our host here in Edinburgh. Regulation 7, and we'll go as long as it takes. We're going to go back to that pitch clock rule. We will get there. We're not forgetting, because we also have the ever many times you can attempt to pick off, and we'll probably talk about the Manfred Man runner as well, as the first pitch is swung on a miss by McIntosh, who'd struck out previously in the second and the fourth.
We do also have an update from Glasgow in the Devils Comets game, as the Devils last have jumped out to a 7-5 lead, unsure of one inning, but that is the best update we have. The Devils do lead in that battle for the 3 seed and the chance to face the second place team rather than the first place team, although those teams are so neck and neck. Who knows which one you'd prefer to face?
As it stands, the Comets are 2 games behind the Cannons with this week and next week. Swing and a miss there. Strike 3. McIntosh not for 3, all on swinging strikes there.
I know it's called a hat-trick in football. It's a hat-trick of strikeouts as well.
Well, let's think of other sport things that have 3s in them. Anyway, so yeah, back to the pitch clock one. As I said, I've actually been in some of the scoring booths while the pitch clock has been running, notably with the Brooklyn Cyclones last year, and a shout out to their press team for letting us sit in the box and join in with the scoring and the timing and the commentary over there with the New York-based minor leaguers. They'll now go, we're not New York or Brooklyn. You know when I'm going in on that one. Sweeney there watching another ball go past. And it requires, it's one person. They can't really look at the field to make any other umpiring decisions. They've got the start, they've got the stop, they've got the reset, they've got the pause, and that all plays to a beep that goes into the ear of the home plate umpire. There's so much focus, nothing else can be done by the person managing the pitch clock. Swing and a miss there, and the ball coming in at the letters there from Andrew Sweeney. And I think that's the main issue about why it's tougher to bring that into smaller and amateur leagues, which is just the amount of mechanics that you need, because you'd also need to put a pitch timer clock somewhere as well.
And it's so tough for, I mean, an umpire's already dealing with so much stuff, and then on top of that, having to deal with the beep in your ear and the headset. At this level, it's just, I unfortunately don't think it's.
And
quite
you have
possible.
to decide where, was eye contact made with 8 seconds to go? Are you in position at 11 to go? I might have got those numbers the wrong way around, and that's popped up high. It's going into the outfield. The run is on to try and catch that from Gonzalez, and that is caught. Is he on the run there as well? It's 2 away.
The sliding grab there from Gonzalez. Gonzalez, of course, a softball player as well, used to making those sliding catches, has been a stalwart in the outfield for the Cannon side over the last couple years.
Gets a little exclamation mark there on my scorecard, so P7, whoa, on the bit of paper.
Yeah, and now Hay steps up to bat. Hay walked last time and was ultimately the catalyst of that 2-run inning for the Galaxy as they managed to score 2 and take the lead, which did unfortunately quickly evaporate, but nonetheless.
Strike 1.
There you are. Nonetheless, played a big part in that.
So while the pitch clock might sound attractive, just the umpire going, oi, speed it up. Just broadly the same effect here as we have a ball there off the second pitch. Other one to point out there, rules-wise, we might as well, as we briefly mentioned it, is in the majors, it's only 3 pick-off attempts on a runner from the third. You don't make it, they're awarded the next base. We don't have that there. You can have as many pick-off attempts as you like as you go through, as we have another ball come down there from Stell.
Just to add on to the confusion of the balk rule, that is called a balk. If you tried, it's a disengagement balk, I believe.
Oh, they needed to get another bullet point in there, because the balk wasn't complicated at all. Plenty space to get that one there as another ball comes down into there. Hay working the count hard as he did in the bottom of the 5th. And eventually ended up being a walk up to first base. Third time Stell has faced him. And it's another ball as that one comes in low, and Hay back up to first base. Second time visiting there for the game. So we go back to the top of the order. Grinnis started out with a strikeout, but there's a single and a walk in the card after that for a 1-for-2 game. his previous appearance at first base had a complicated call that required discussion between our umpires, and it kind of made him reluctant to steal after that, so we will keep an eye out on there. And a golf swing there from Grinnis as that pitch comes in low and he turns the ball into a strike.
Long walk afterwards just to reset himself after that swing.
Game is tied. 2 outs so far in this inning though. And there's hit, line drive, goes out into left field. It is high, it is long, but it is into the glove of Pillow. It was a third out, but the infield just going for the extra play to try and catch Ali Hay as he runs back to first. Of course, Ali's just going, nope, third out. I'm going back to the dugout. But irrespective of the little scramble after that one, and that's the second infield scramble that we've had from the Cannons. We'll talk about that in a second. That there hit high and long into the left field there from Grinnis. It probably had the distance, but also and help there is Pillow with just a little bit of a reach, a little bit of a jump, and into the glove on the warning track for the third out. And I think that's going to get an exclamation mark there.
I think so
as
too.
well.
It's not the first time Grinnis against the Cannons has flied out to deep field. That might have had the distance, but a fielder just gets in the way. He made the last out, or the penultimate out, in the last Galaxy versus Cannons game. For the Galaxy, no hits, no runs, 1 runner left on base. Still a 5-5 game as we go to the bottom of the 6th. For the Cannons, Pujols, Gonzalez, and Seal coming to bat. We will be right back with the bottom of the 6th inning.
Bottom of the 6th, and that our first pitch there from Greenwich, who remains on the mound as a starting pitcher, bounces on the ground and over the fence. Pujols there getting ahead in the count. 1-0 to start off with. And hits that one smart. He goes over to shortstop after a bounce. Thrown over long down to first base. It's an overthrow and it goes out of bounds. Couldn't see if that was going to be an in-time throw or not. Not seeing that there. It's just the Cannons enthusiastic dugout getting in the way there. I'm pretty sure the Cannons scorecard is going to say single and the Glasgow one's going to say an error on the throw.
I think so too. Of course, the home team does represent the correct scorecard, so in all likelihood it will go down as a single. Cannons here in the later innings are doing a good job of putting the ball in play and making things happen.
That's Mark Pujols is a single here as well. It was an incredibly fast throw needed, so he may well not have been in time on the faster run. Of course, if you're watching this on YouTube afterwards, you can just press back 10 seconds and find out just how wrong we were. In any case, the steal happened as well, so up to second. Then there's high and long as well in the center outfield. It's not going to have the distance, though, at least in the center field. So there's one out on the catch, the long throw to cut off at third. Pujols, who'd stolen himself up to second, takes himself into third base as well. Gonzalez there, and a high, long pop out to center field. Center field here is, you're looking at about 350 feet here for the center field. And then when you consider that left and right is only 270 feet, the distance was there. It just needed to be hooked round a little bit more. As it stands, though, it's one away, but the go-ahead run is at third base.
The wind here seems to be bothering the center fielder quite a lot, and the rest of the outfielders too. It's strong, and on these high flyouts, it's making it difficult for the outfielders to track the ball, and I'm sure the sun in their peripheral will not be helping. As now Cyril up to bat, 1 for 2 with a single and a strikeout on the day as the plate conference comes to an end. Grinnis staying on the bump for the Galaxy.
Pujols at third base for the Cannons. Kit Searle now on catching duties in the box with the bat.
Pujols, of course, represents the go-ahead run in this game, and what a game it's been so far.
Game that the Cannons need to win to keep the first seed spot under their control. We're in week 19 of 20 here for the Baseball Scotland AAA League. Full season is a one-game sudden death semi-final between 4 teams, and then up to a 3-game series to lift the trophy, at least for the postseason, and that's well wide and inside, but close backstop means there's an opportunity for Pujols to take much more than 10-15 feet. Enough time for him to run back. And yourself into a big American college baseball ground though, and that ball would have kept on rolling past the backstop. And the steal would have been on. Already been 2 steals from home here, but from the Glasgow Galaxy's out. Pitch comes in. That's going to be left.
Why do you have to mention American fields? Farnham has a big backstop too.
I said college. I said American college fields.
Ah, American college fields specifically. Okay.
Farnham, of course, is going to be home for the BBF Summer Cup, which is going to be taking place in 2 weeks' time. And there will be Scotland represented down there as well. And that's a scooped up high and long. So it's going to the outfield. Sweeney reaching up for it. He's not going to take the catch there, and it's time to turn the bases. Make sure you touch them all. 1, 2, 3, and home. Pujols crosses the plate there and brings himself home. Kit Searle takes his time. And I think that's actually going to turn around and going to be going for the ground rule double instead.
Nonetheless, the game is once again in favor of the Cannons as they take the lead on an absolutely crushed ball there by Kit Searle.
Ball getting past left fielder Andrew Sweeney, and presumably then just taking a very small bounce before the fence here. Temporary fence that needs to be put up again. As I said, shared grounds here. So Kit Searle getting a ground rule RBI double. Brings Pujols home.
And now we will see Jacob Wright coming into the game. Wright having pitched 70%, over 70% of the Cannons, of the Galaxy's innings so far this season. He sports a 5.23 ERA, 49 strikeouts, and 948 pitches. So if this game were to go to extras, highly likely he would surpass that 1,000 mark, just like Stell did earlier in the game. And of course, 1 strikeout away from 50 on the season. A runner in Kit Searle will be on second base, representing the chance to add a comfort run for the Cannons.
Oh, go on, make it sound impressive. Double the lead.
Double the lead.
Double the lead.
Up to bat is Pelon, who is 0 for 2 on the day, batting .217 coming into the game. 1 out still, so it'll be worth noting any balls that go past the pitch. The catcher will likely see Searle move up 90 feet away, which would mean just a ball in play would be enough.
And as expected, with Wright going in to pitch, Elvis Grinnis is going to move in to the catcher's spot as well.
The batter, Pilon, made a spectacular catch out in right field in the top of the 6th. See if he can add some spectacular hitting onto that. He was the winning run in the 2-1 game against the Comets earlier in the season, which saw both pitchers go 10 innings, throwing well over 100 pitches each in an absolute classic. As we're just seeing the catcher get into his gear, and Wright will take his warm-up pitches. We will be right back. Are we sure that was a grand rule double? Are we sure that was a grand rule double? Yeah. What a game. Unreal so far.
You didn't realise that because I've got the full studio version of Visual Doll,
Yeah.
you can also edit stereography.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's it.
That's doing baseball in 3D. 2 cameras.
Oh.
YouTube will stream it, or will host it, if you've got 3D glasses.
How you doing, Murray? How you doing?
Alright, sore. You got that change, just...
Yeah.
Sounds like a fracture.
Leave that to him. To you.
I got you, man. Yeah, just straight swap.
Yeah, I was saved by the
That game.
yeah, it's great.
Unreal.
Yeah. I don't know why I did that. Mine out.
What changes?
Pitcher catcher.
Oh, dead.
Oh, the one at 3rd, yeah.
Yeah, that was very much at the heart, just going for. Thank you, I appreciate that, Tyler.
Want it back.
Well, they do it.
I'm neutral. We're grey. Okay. Welcome back. We are in the bottom of the 6th with 1 away. Edinburgh Cannons have taken the lead. Just by 1 though. And we've had a pit.
6-5?
We're at 6-5, yep. And Jacob Wright is in as the relief pitcher for the Glasgow Galaxy. Pick-off attempt there on a steal. Kit Searle up at second base with the long looping throwback. Elvis Greenwich has been pitching now in as the catcher. 1 away so far. 1 run scored this inning from Kit Searle's ground rule double, which looks to be maybe a foot or 2 away from going yard. That one hits along the ground, and it's the long throw over from 3rd and McDade to McIntosh to register the 2nd out there on Pillow. Does bring Searle over to 3rd base though with 2 away.
Hernandez now up to bat, 1 for 2 with a single in the 1st inning on the first pitch of the game that the Cannons faced. As Wright gets his first out recorded in this one.
Pitch in, low and outside. Check throw up to 3rd base. Searle just a little bit asleep there, but close enough that you can listen to the dugout shouting for danger and getting the hand back on the bag. Little bit of wind coming in, blowing in from left outfield across to 1st base now. Sun ducked behind, bringing a couple of degrees down on the temperature. Check throw up to 3rd as well. That one's much longer, looping and higher as well. Needing a jump up from McDade. An overthrow there into the outfield. You'd have to think that Searle's speed, he'd want to mimic Zhao and do his best to get the stolen run at home. Pitch comes in there to the inside. Hitters count here with 3-0 for Hernandez. He can take his time. It's first time facing right in this game. It goes to the inside. He'll take the walk. Puts the runners on the corners. Jimenez comes in. Came into bench hit for Rory Dunn in the fifth. And then moved into the DH slot. 1 for 1 so far in the game. 2 away. So have to be sharp-eyed on the outs. Runners at the corners, and Hernandez goes to the steal immediately. Takes himself up to second. There's going to be the check throw up, and it's a just off target there. So Hernandez is scrappy and in. Cannons have been taking an awful lot of chances in their steals at first and second. Been a bit scrappy getting in and reliant on off-target throws rather than speed and guile.
I think they expected defensive indifference there. Didn't get it. The throw did come down, even with the runner on third base. Cyril? Not quite expecting the throw down to second.
And there's
As
just one there, so the grounder goes up, picked up by third base. It's long and high, and it's over. Throw to first. McDade's going to allow a reach on error there, and it's also going to be a run on error as well. And of course, Hernandez already getting the foot on the bag at third on the overthrow, which gives the 90 feet from him, bringing it himself from third. There, down at 2. Home, 2 runs on the board there. Reaching on error, scored on error, and scored on error as well. A moment's loss of concentration there from the Galaxy, and what was previously going into the 6th inning a 5-5 game is now a 5-8 game with our home team, the Cannons. 3 runs to the good. Pitch comes in, that goes outside now. Del Rosario, fielder's choice, single, double so far on the books. Triples get rather scarce here in Edinburgh. 2 hits so far for Del Rosario in the game. That fielder's choice, of course, not on the at-bat. So 2 for 2. Quiet comes over, and time is called after that. Jimenez got himself up to second. Thanks to that out of play throw. Reached on arrow to first base and then up to second. So 1 in scoring position. Shaker Wright's pitch comes in there high and inside. Decision made between the pitcher-catcher combo. And that's going to go outside and low. Pitch comes in and it's going to golf swing and miss on that one. Strike goes onto the count. It's equal. Del Rosario 2 for 2, looking for a result here, and that goes wide inside for ball 4. Gives us runners at first and second.
And now Sue steps up to the plate, already with a double and a hit by pitch this game, and a strikeout in his last at-bat.
Doing his best to avoid any sort of duplication on the scorecard.
Well, I imagine he'd want to duplicate that double.
Well, he's got a teammate up in scoring position in second, so be quite happy with that. And hits that high into the sun. And it comes out of the sun. No snow on it, but rolls into the car park. Wind today will blow off any of that. battles behind. Norton 1. Two away, runners first and second, but the Cannons have found 3 runs in this game to go up by those same 3 runs. Fouled off straight back. Grillis expecting straight up. Not 2 on the count. And that's just going to be left. Takes count to 1 and 2. Said there, Sue's coming in batting over 400 and has increased that batting average in this game. Swings on that one. It turns the low ball into a strike 3. And with that, Jacob Wright registers his 50th strikeout for the season.
Yeah, both pitchers reaching milestones, one double the other. Nonetheless, just as impressive considering the volume. For the Cannons that inning, 3 runs on 2 hits and 1 error, 2 left on base. They take a commanding 8-5 lead as Garrett Stell will look to close out his complete game. Coming to bat for the Galaxy, McDade, Zhao, and then the now pitcher, Wright. We will be right back with what very well could be the last inning of this game.
Back in and straight away there is a line drive going up and it sits there with glove of Pujols and then over to Silverberg there. Before we could even say hello to McDade, it's hello then goodbye. Up and down on a 4-3. We are into the 7th inning with a 3-run lead to our home team, the Cannons, and the Galaxy have got 2 outs left to make a difference in the game. 3 runs to make up, and that's the 3 runs that they made in the 3rd, so this is not unknown to them. And we should also point out the Cannons just posted 3 as well, so 3 runs in an inning here in Scotland. It's certainly within reach. It's going to have to be done with 2 outs left for the Glasgow Galaxy. Garrett Stell, starting pitcher, in through 7. Stell has not went the distance in the previous games against the Glasgow Galaxy, sitting at 5 innings pitched on both of those. And comes in, swings, and a miss there from Zhao. Struck out initially, but then fielder's choice and single also on the card, but also on the card, making a strong play for some of the plays of the game with 2 steals of home coming in from Zhao's feet, but he's got to get on base to do that. Wind picks up coming in from third base dugout over to first base. Stell on 11 strikeouts already. 2 strikes on the board there. Strike 3 gives him strike number 12. 2 up, 2 down.
The Galaxy now down to their last out of the game, and it will be manager, pitcher, catcher Jacob Wright here.
It's also a chance now for the Edinburgh Cannons to keep that first seed in the postseason in their control. We'll just double check to see if we can get a result from the previous game. The game that's happening elsewhere today. The Cannons win here. At worst, they would tie with the Tayport Breakers in the league, and they, of course, have the head-to-head record. So Stell just focuses on. The ball has no memory. Pitch comes down for a ball.
Right, so far 0 for 2 with an intentional walk given out.
Stell making the decision with Searle in catcher. Comes down and fouled off fast and hard down first base line. And just bounces underneath the car park cars. Threatening to bounce into one of the tyres actually there with the pace that it had on it. And that one goes incredibly wide there. Stell, I think, looking to throw as much of a slide as he could. I think just a late release on the early grip release there. Still able for him to punch out. Pitch comes down. It comes though. It's the ball. Glasgow Galaxy, 1 out left. Count here goes full. Jacob Wright, it's 3 and 2. All the lights are on. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Cannons with a 3-run lead. Cannons pitcher, Garrett Stell, watches that one foul off again. We do it all again with the reset. 1 more on the pitch count. Stell this game putting himself over one of the Baseball Scotland milestones. But now the focus is on finishing the game out. The count remains full. All the lights remain on the scoreboard. Stell makes his decision. Right, makes his best guess. Hits that line drive out into centre field. Bounces in front of Sue in centre field. So there's a single. From all the lights are on, we're going to have to do it all over again if we're going to get another out for the Cannons. And the Galaxy are going to have to do it all over again and again and again and again and get 3 runners home at the very least. There's a defensive conference from the Cannons into the pitcher. And I think we are going to get pitcher-catcher swap here. Stell there coming through off 6 innings and 2 outs on the cards there. Just lean over. We've got the full line on in terms of hits coming up for Stell. We'll just run through the paperwork on that where, but notably there 12 strikeouts on the game. Looks like 5 hits on my card. Philip, what have you got?
I've got 5 hits as well, yeah.
5 hits there, 5 runs. 12 strikeouts there for Stell. It's going to be Kit Searle coming in to look for the final out.
As I believe Stell going into center field, Searle going in to pitch, and Sue getting behind the dish here as the Galaxy look to battle back from down 3. Close game here. Still not over just yet.
Jacob Wright reaching there after a full count. Before that, McDaden Zhao ground out and strike out. Darian is going to be first in to face Kit Searle. Ground out, line out, and a walk previously on my card. Let me just lean over. Darian did have the walk, yep. And with that, it's just the arms warming up. Chance to go around the horn in the infield. Outfield's coming as well just to check in with everybody. Reminder of the importance of the game. The Cannons are already in the postseason. But of course, looking to keep home advantage means taking the top seeding spot. And to do that, they need to make sure they equal or better the Tayport Breakers record. That's currently at 9 and 4 with the Breakers to play next week against the Glasgow Galaxy. Cannons 8-4, half a game back with a game in hand.
And crucially, the Cannons looking to defend that league title they've held for the last 2 years.
A win here keeps that top seed under their own control. They would just have to make sure that they could visit Glasgow next week to play the Comets and take that game, and the league will be theirs. Can still be theirs if results go their way in the other games next week. But any good team is going to want to keep that sort of potential advantage in their own hands. So a reminder once more of the changes that we have here. In fact, let's just go over there and do the full reminder there of the defense for the Cannons. Across the top, Gonzalez, Stal and Pelos, your left, center, right. Del Rosario remains in shortstop. Your Ted Rogers is Hernandez, Pujols and Silverberg for third base, second base, first base. Rocky Hughes moved down into the catcher's spot, and vacating that catcher's spot 50 feet towards the mound is Kit Searle. Garrett Stell, 6 innings and 2 outs there as well. 5 hits, 5 runs, 12 strikeouts.
His Caper 9 is something stunning to look at, I must say. Considering he maximum has to pitch 7 innings in a non-extra inning game. Now Kit Searle into pitch, sporting a 6.2 ERA on the year.
Two away for the Glasgow Galaxy. Runner at first, 3 runs behind. Kit Searle in to close out the game. Ball comes down there. He faces Glasgow Galaxy shortstop Darian. Ground out, line out, and walk so far. Steal is on as Jacob Wright goes up from first to second. Throw comes up from catcher. It's high and off target, so it's going to be a stand up into second base. Jacob Wright as he gets himself stolen and into scoring position. Tying run is in the hole for the Glasgow Galaxy. Searle once more, settling in, pitched in, inside high for a ball. Count is 3-1. Darian in control here. And long looping, strike 2. Count goes full. The lights are on. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner on second. Cannons up by 3. Kit Searle pitching for the game. In it comes. Strike 3, but dropped. The run is up, down in the rows. Long throw. Rocky Sue up to first base. It's long looping high and in time. Silverberg puts the glove into the air, puts the ball into the glove, and that's the ball game as the Edinburgh Cannons keep control of their own destiny and the chance to play next week to win the AAA league here for the Scottish National League. A game dominated by pitching, it has to be said, and a game that was nip and tuck all the way through between the Cannons and the Galaxy. Cannons taking the lead early before the Galaxy fought back to take the lead in the 5th, but after that the Cannons put the foot down. 2 runs in the bottom of the 5th, 3 runs in the bottom of the 6th, none getting on the board in the 7th. Final score there, Glasgow Galaxy, your visitors, on 5, your Edinburgh Cannons on 8.
Yeah, Cannons there getting 1 win closer to that league title. That one that hasn't been so elusive for them, but this year has been tougher, and move to 9 and 4, tied with Tayport at the top, as Ewan mentioned there. Crucially, Garrett Stell, 6 2/3 innings pitched, 5 hits, 5 runs, 12 Ks, and Kit Searle coming in there to record the final out via strikeout. what a win. Coming from behind at one point, Galaxy looked in control for a minute there, had that 3-run inning, took a 2-run lead, and then it all came crumbling down a little bit in the top of the 6th.
Little bit of loss of focus there in the 6th. But there we go. That is that in baseball. A game that can be played for minutes, for hours, for days, and for weeks sometimes. Comes down to those snap thoughts in a few seconds. That's why the game is loved around the world. It's especially loved here in Scotland. You know, we might not be as big as some of the parks, but the game is just as exciting. Thanks for watching it back on YouTube. If you find a favorite bit, clip it, link, like, love, share, subscribe, all of the usual social media stuff. We will be bringing you as much of the postseason as we can. We might even head down to the Summer Cup and see how the Scotland team gets on down there at the end of the month. But for now, from the booth, it's thank you to my colleague, Filip Makarowski.
Thank you very much. And thank you to the play-by-play, the man himself running the commentary side here in Baseball Scotland, Ewan Spence.
And thank you all out there for listening. There's lots to watch on YouTube. We thank you that you spend your time with us. And we only have one more ask for you. Hasty back.